Welcome back, everybody. So this video quite possibly will be the longest one of the series, so keep that in mind as you get started in this. It's one of the most important in as much as this is what we're trying to do with composition. We're trying to tell a story. Every picture tells a story. So your job as a photographer is to create an image with depth, motion, and some sort of story. Your job is to lead your viewer through the picture as part of telling the story. Is it a snapshot in time? Is it telling a story that's ongoing? How is your composition passing on that message and telling the story to your viewers? So when we are looking at a painting or a picture, our eyes will naturally go to one place, the focal point, and then we'll kind of wander through the composition, and that's our movement. Remember, our principle of design, movement, doesn't necessarily mean motion or action. It's how our eye moves through the piece. So, good photographers and artists use techniques like lines and symmetry and patterns and multiple focal points to lead the viewer in a specific way through an image. If you can do this, you can create a successful composition. So in this picture here, what's the story? If you think about it in your basic writing class, where is it? Who is it? When is it? Why is it happening? What is happening? We can answer most of these questions just by looking at what we see in the picture. We know that it's not at night because it's light out. And it's probably in a cold season because everybody's got winter weather gear on. We can see this location says Johnson High School, and we can see that the signs say strike. So we can assume that this happened during the 2020 St. Paul Federation of Educators strike. So these are probably teachers, maybe even some students and EAs. We know that they're picketing. We know that it's at Johnson. We know that it is cold out, so it's probably a cold season, but if we know the context that this was the St. Paul Union strike, we know it was in March. We know that the strikes happened from 7 to 11 every morning, so it's probably in that time frame. And whether or not you knew what was happening before I went through this discourse, now you know. And it's all in this picture. Now, this is a good point for me to point out that I can't see my cursor when I'm recording these videos, so I don't know where it's sitting right now, and that's part of why I haven't pointed out specific things in any of the videos so far. So this picture tells a story. It's an active moment in the union strike. It's before it was done, it was after it started. So we can glean the details of the story. Now, not every picture needs to be so in-depth. We don't need to be able to answer all the who, what, when, where, why, how. But this picture does answer all of that. And that's why I think it was a good example for this. We also have diagonal lines leading us across. We have the repetition of these signs to pull us through the people. There's a lot of things that move us through this picture. And there's also the connection that it's these educators on strike. Next up, we're going to talk about when to break the rules, because, as you always know, rules are made to be broken. I will see you in a little bit. Goodbye.